Hey, family, it's Dr. Dez here with another episode of the Bowtie Chronicles. It's Motivational Monday, and today we're going to continue on this journey to change our narrative. We've talked about in the past couple of weeks, we've talked about codependency, about establishing boundaries. Today, we're going to talk about daily acts of abundance. Yes, daily acts of abundance. These are things that you do for self, to provide yourself with an abundant mentality, an abundant mindset. And that abundant mindset will help you to get through many of the challenges that you'll face on a regular basis, merely because life is challenging and things come at us hard sometimes, and they come at us fast sometimes. But when you start your day with a desire and a dedication to live an abundant lifestyle. This isn't all about money. I know a lot of people talk about abundance and they talk about financial abundance, but this abundance that I'm referencing comes from deep inside, and it's relative to who you are. It's about your self-care. And self-care describes a conscious act on your part to take an order of your life to promote your own physical well-being, your emotional well-being, your social well-being, and all of those other areas. Your self-care checklist should look like this. When you're starting your day, you want to check yourself. Make sure that you're in a physical good space, a social good space, a mental good space, an emotional good space, as well as a spiritual good space. These are things that you can do on a daily basis to make sure that you're moving forward in an abundant way. Abundance isn't about the physical things. It's about the mental attitude that you take for yourself within yourself. And sometimes it impacts, and it always impacts, your physical surroundings, because the way that you approach a situation is the way that you'll get the situation coming back to you. So it's an opportunity for you to reflect on yourself, look at you are, and you are in a space of abundance. You are in a place where good things happen because you are a good person. You can expect to have positive social interactions when you start out in a positive position, right? So I want to share with you just this little piece that you can look at for yourself as you analyze who you are, where you are, and what it is that you want to do. It's a scarcity versus an abundance chart. And I want you to take a moment so that you can look at it. We're talking scarcity versus abundance. And scarcity is a place where you believe that good things aren't happening because there's nothing out there. It's a point of view. You're a victim, a bully, or simply checked out. You're just not in this space because there's a scarcity in those things that mean a lot to you. So when you're moving from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset, you're in the driver's seat. And those things that happen to you, you are in direct control, or you have a level of influence over where you are and what you will do because you have an abundant mindset. Your physical energy. When you are contracted a body, you come in contact with individuals, scarcity, and you're looking at your body and you're looking at your self-worth and you're looking at your own physical energy, and it is not good. Your shoulders are tense. You got a clenched jaw, you're short of breath and things of that nature. But when you're living in an abundant space, you're relaxed and alert. You have an expansive posture. You're rooted and balanced, and you're present in the moment, breathing deeply and evenly, because the things that are going on around you aren't creating a level of anxiety within yourself, and you're living in an abundant position. And then let's look at your emotional energy. As you look at your emotional energy, when you're living in a space of scarcity, you can be drained. Right? The room in and of itself is draining. The interactions are draining. You're feeling frustrated. You're impatient. You're anxious. You're afraid, angry, overwhelmed, and you're powerless. You're giving your power over to the group think, everything that everybody else thinks, and the pressure that's created as you live in that space. So scarcity is not where you want to be. We're talking about living in an abundant space. So now you're feeling empowered, you're engaged, you're positive, like you're working on something that's bigger than yourself. You're energized and you inspire others. You're excited about the challenges and growth that stands in front of you. The days ahead, the moments ahead are exciting to you because you're living in a space of abundance. When we talk about the mental energy, that the place that comes from living in that level of scarcity, your mental energy is all messed up, right? You're confused, you're disorganized, you're narrow in your thinking, and you're only focusing on what's not working instead of what is working. The typical thought pattern herein is I have no choice, but that's not the reality. The reality is you can live in an abundant space, and it starts within you. It's a feeling of clarity. The ability to perceive multiple angles. You can see things coming from various points of view, and you are actively engaged in that level of thinking, right? You listen actively and you notice what others are not seeing, and you're grateful because you can see it and share with others. You're flexible and adaptable. It's the typical thought pattern here is I always have a choice. If I were to notice something new, what would it be? You're living in a creative space, and you are the creative agent in the space of abundance that you currently occupy. You're non-judgmental toward others because what they do is what they do, but you're adding value to the experience in the here and now. So this scarcity and abundant model is one that I want you to spend some time with so that you can become comfortable and know when you're moving into the space of scarcity versus the space of abundance, right? Because that's extremely important. You want to live in the space of abundance wherein you are bringing good things because you are a good person and you project good energy from here out here. One of my favorite quotes by Michelle Obama is simply this: one of the lessons that I grew up with was to always stay true to yourself and never let what somebody else says distract you from your goals. And so when I hear about negative and false attacks, I really don't invest any energy in them because I know who I am. We know who Michelle Obama is. She was the first African-American first lady in the White House, married to the President Obama, Mr. Barack Obama himself. And you have to recognize she wasn't always recognized as the first lady. She's someone who had to learn and to grow into her person, therefore learning to grow into being an abundant, who's always projecting positive energy. That person that we have come to know and to love as Michelle Obama, recognizes that it is important to live in the intentional space of living an abundant life. You too can live that abundant life. You don't have to live at a point of scarcity where things are happening to you and accepting a position that you have nothing to do with what's going on. You are in charge of what's happening in your life. There will be times of challenge. There will be times where your disposition is going to be pushed to its maximum and you'll become frustrated. That's part of life. But you don't have to live in that frustration of the moment. You can change the moment with your own mentality. So when you choose to live that abundant life, you're taking control of your immediate atmosphere. You're taking control of those things that can and will happen in your life. And you're looking at the positives and not focusing on the negatives. Truth is, there are negative things that happen around us all the time, but you don't have to live in a negative space. So we want you to choose abundance on this day and every day. It's Motivational Monday. If you can focus on living that abundant life, living in this moment and preparing yourself for the greatness that is within, that's ready to radiate out, then you're ready to live that abundance lifestyle. If you have any questions, challenges, and you want to hear a little bit more about this, please reach out to me, Dr. Daniel at motivatingfactor.org. We look forward to seeing you again on Motivational Monday. This is Dr. Dez with the Bowtie Chronicles. Be encouraged.
I know they gon' remember me, 'cause I'm gon' leave a legacy.